Hello and welcome! In the previous video we finished the Onaran Plains campaign, so this means we will be moving on to the next zone and the next campaign. Now, if you check out the map, you will notice that under the Onaran Plains is a zone called the Azure Span. So that is where we will be heading. So, so far we have completed the Waking Shores campaign and the Onaran Plains campaign. Okay. Usually I kick off the video with a or the lore book entry of the previous chapter. Unfortunately, as I have pointed out several times, the lore book entries for the first campaign or the original campaign has been removed. Usually I go to the wiki page of World of Warcraft, but unfortunately there is no entry on this previous chapter, so I'm just gonna try and summarize it for myself, what we did in the previous video. So yeah, in the previous video, the previous chapter, let me just look it up in the achievement. Previous chapter was called Bonds Renewed. So in that chapter we learned the true intentions of the No-Kut and the Primalists in the Onaran Plains, which was to infiltrate the ancient Bow. Now this is sacred ground that provides entry to the Emerald Dream. To gain access to the ancient Bow, they tried to trigger a war between the Green Dragons and all the Maruk, all the Centaur, by shooting down one of the Green Dragons using Storm Bolts, which is forbidden magic for the Maruk. So yeah, they shot down a Green Dragon. We had to try and mend the relations with the Green Dragons. So by we, I mean we being Kanamatra Sarest and ourselves. So we spoke to Marithra and mended the, well, situation. I'm trying to think of another word. Well. So yeah, then we decided to work together to fight against the No-Kut and against the Primalists. We went to the battlefield where we completed several objectives, and in the end we were able to defeat or kill the leader of the Primalists in the Onaran Plains, called Korleth. So that was a good or a pleasant moment, because she had been, you know, harassing us or thwarting our efforts into stabilizing the situation. So yeah, then we were invited into the ancient Bow ourselves, and we renewed the bond between the Green Dragons and the Maruk Centaur. So yeah, with that being said, let's start the campaign on the new zone, or the next zone, called the Azure Span. So once you start the first chapter, you work towards gaining the achievement called Azure Spanner. So as you can see, the first chapter in the Azure Span campaign is called Into the Archives. So yeah, let's start with that right now.
What would you ask of me?
We speak with Marithra in the Ancient Bow, which
Is
is
it time to go already?
right here.
Tell me of your dreams.
Into the Azure. We have done our part. Though I must remain here to watch over the Oathstone and guide the Green Dragonflight, know that you'll leave with our gratitude and faith. I have received word from the Kirintor. I have received word that the Kirintor are seeking help in claiming the Azure Oathstone. Helping them with their Oathstone will bring us one step closer to healing Azeroth. Find Pakina and Masood the Wise of the Kirintor. They will instruct you further. Safe journey and pleasant dreams. Meet Masood the Wise in Fork River Crossing.
Rest well.
Alright. So we are guided toward the southeast. So let's head that way. And in the meantime, I should have upgraded my dragon riding skills. Unfortunately, I didn't do that yet, which will be unfortunate for this part. Let me think. Okay, so we are headed to this location. That's a lot better. So we finally arrived at
Think we will
Fork
find
River.
anyone here who can help our efforts in the Azure span?
I'm sure an adventurer will come by. This place should be crawling with them.
Fork River crossing. So let's pick up the flight point first, or the flight path. There we go. Alright, so the characters we were looking for are Pakina and Masood the Wise.
Let's compare notes. Keep a keen mind and a watchful eye.
Hail, adventurer. I'm glad our call for help reached you.
I'll be here when you return.
So to be able to start this quest, you need to be at least level 65 if you do this campaign for the first time. Greetings! Pakina and I are here on behalf of the Kirintor looking for aid. The Kirintor are working to safeguard the wild arcane magic located all throughout the Azure span. Kalagos, the aspect of the blue Dragonflight and one of our leaders, needs aid in reclaiming the Azure Outstone there as well. If you're willing to help, keep traveling along the road to find Glania of the Blessed Ones. She can direct you to where you can help the most. Meet with Glania of the Blessed Ones within the Azure span.
Glania can help direct you toward the Kirintor's efforts in the Azure span. Make sure to tell her Masood and Pakina sent you.
Ooh, how many more adventurers should we find?
Maybe 3 or 4 more? 5 adventurers seems like a good number to have for any task.
Okay. I guess it is. So up here you can see another dragon glyph. So you can pick it up easily when you go through or you move to the Azure span. As you can see, we have arrived in the Azure span. And up here,
I'm sorry, but I do not know how to do this, fishing. Can it not wait?
Right. If you all insist on examining fish for this essence, then the least you can do is help me catch more.
okay, that's gonna be hard for me to impersonate.
There is magic everywhere.
Excellent, an adventurer. I can fill you in on the details before I have to learn to fish.
Let us shine together.
Camp Antonidas. The Kirintor have our main camp set up to the south of here. Camp Antonidas. I believe Noriko and Khadgar are there now gathering adventurers to aid Kalagos in reclaiming the Azure Outstone. If you wish to help in our endeavors, go there. Meet Noriko the All-Remembering in Camp Antonidas.
Darkness Akara.
So as always, I will ignore the side quests and the optional quests for the time being. So let's go to Camp Antonidas by following the road. And up here you can already see the remains of a broken tower, or the remains of a tower.
I'm getting a bit concerned. We haven't heard back from the patrol up at Ronin's Shield.
And here we can see
Kirintor welcomes you.
Noriko. Ah, good to see you. Hold on, do you feel that?
Be cautious.
The Primalists are attacking! Get our defenses back up and running! So yeah, that's proto-drakes who are being, well, I don't know, controlled by the Primalists. I don't know if they are really being controlled, but they are allied with the Primalists.
This land is full of curiosities.
Assemble the defenses. The Primalists have been hunting the Kirintor since we arrived in the Azure span. They detest our practice of arcane magic. I'll send word to Kalagos to return from the Azure archives. In the meantime, we need to hold them off. It seems one of our main arcane defenses was destroyed in their initial attack. Bring the pieces back to me and I can reassemble it. Recover 3 pieces of the arcane blaster.
We'll speak soon.
Okay, and next we speak to Alphanus.
Aspect's grace shine down on you.
Preservation of knowledge.
For dragonkind.
Greetings, I am Alphanus. I wish we could have met in a less chaotic time. We were helping the Kirintor study the history of this place just a few moments before the Primalists attacked. I fear several tomes may still be out there, at risk of being destroyed in this dreadful assault. Please, you must recover these tomes. If they're destroyed, the history of this place will be lost. Find 4 ancient tomes scattered around Camp Antonidas.
May the flights protect us.
And I just realized I didn't impersonate his voice, but I'm not sure if I can. Okay, so up here we can find discarded book. Antiquated guest list. This old tome has the names of dragons who frequented this area. 2 names are on almost every page: Malagos and Syndragosa. So those names might sound familiar, depending if you played different or previous expansions or not. Crumbling Event Planner. This book details various events that were held in this area. All of them seem to be involved. All of them seemed to involve displays of arcana to show other dragonflights and aspects. On this table we have another book. These pages have details about the courtship between 2 blue dragons, Malagos and Syndragosa. One note indicates this is part 1 of a series. And last, broken texts. This book details the dragonid and dragonspawn that looked after this area after the blue dragons left. Many pages lament about the cheer being gone with the absence of Syndragosa and Malagos. So Malagos was actually the previous blue dragon aspect, and Syndragosa was his wife, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, up here we can find a first out of 3 broken arcane devices. Or 3 parts. Broken arcane device. Some arcane magic still sparks out of this piece of the device. I expected more damage from that. Anyway, here you can find a second one. And inside the remains of this building, you can find the 3rd broken arcane device piece. Okay, so now we just head back to what was her name? Noriko and Alphanus.
How are you, traveler?
Do you have the pieces? I remember exactly how it was assembled, so repairing it should not be a problem.
Keep your eyes and your wits sharp out there.
Excellent. I'll begin the ritual to fix this in a moment.
If you see anything remarkable, let me know.
Until we meet again.
Do you have the tomes?
Go with the aspects.
What a relief! To lose all that knowledge. I could not bear the thought.
Aspects watch over you.
Okay, so back to Noriko. He only has a optional quest.
It's good to see you.
Him being Alphanus. Okay, Wrath of the Kirintor. I have assembled the pieces of the device you recovered. Place it near Khadgar and use it to repel the Primalists. Just need to hold out a little longer until Kalagos arrives. Use the Arcane Blaster to help Khadgar defeat the Primalists. For that we get a little upgrade.
We just need to hold them off a little longer. Kalagos should be here soon.
Alright, now, did I read that already? I can't remember, to be honest. She sent words to Kalagos that they are under attack, so he should be reinforcing us. Okay, so next to Khadgar, we have an Arcane Blaster, which we will use to repel the Primalist army.
I'll shield you for as long as I can. Take those drakes down!
Arcane Blast. Launch a projectile that deals moderate damage to the first enemy hit. And Arcane Stasis. Launch a fast-moving projectile that dramatically slows the movement of any enemy it hits. So let's use the Stasis Field, which didn't affect anyone. I don't think it did. Let's fire it again then. There we go. Slowed down. We just use our Arcane Blast. Shoot them out of the sky. Since there is no progress bar, it's well, you can assume that you will have to defeat all the proto drakes. Shoot them all down. I missed that one. And again. Oh dear. Alright, so as you can see, they can change direction swiftly sometimes.
Fine work. Hold on. More primalists are coming.
Oh dear.
Fall back. We'll set up defensive positions.
The Kirin shall not fall to these monsters. I must return to the archives. Send help when you can. The Azure Oathstone is proving difficult to reclaim.
I need to fend off the primalists to the east. It may fall on you to aid Kalagos' adventure.
There we go. Kalagos came to our rescue and bombarded the enemy. I do seem to recall that arcane magic is usually blue. That was purple, so I'm not sure what kind of magic Kalagos used. Also, as far as I can remember, the proto drakes flying in the air were shut down as well, which was something we did not see in this moment. But anyway, Kalagos came to our rescue and wiped out the primalists.
The Kirin Tor welcomes you.
Upon which he asked our aid at the Azure archives. I am relieved that the attack was repelled, but it seems we will need to figure out a plan to help Kalagos in the Azure archives.
If you see anything remarkable, let me know.
The magic here is older than humanity itself.
Meeting Kalagos.
Astonishing.
Whoops. So yeah, meeting Kalagos. I fear we'll have to split our attention. The primalist threat to the east must be handled. I must ask you to travel to the Azure archives in my stead to aid Kalagos in reclaiming the Azure Oathstone. You'll need to pick up a few supplies to help you with whatever is happening there. Speak with our portal quartermaster. They ought to have something that can aid you along the way. Good luck. Kalagos will appreciate the aid. Get the bag of helpful goods, then meet Kalagos at the base of the Azure archives.
We'll handle what remains of the primalists to the east. I'm counting on you to aid Kalagos' adventure.
Yes, sir. And then they all, well, some fly off, some teleport away. Okay, so to the north, northwest, we can find the supply portal. Where? Oh, up here. The arcane presence throughout these ruins has rendered them remarkably intact. What would them be? I have no idea. Malagos undoubtedly spent a good deal of time in this magical pleasure villa. Okay, I'm not gonna continue reading that because I think there's two conversations that are mixed up in there. So yeah, quartermaster. Bag of helpful goods requested. Hello there. Need anything from Dalaran? Just say the word and I'll track it down and get it to you. Khadgar said you have something that could help me aid Kaligos.
Ah, this is the in case Khadgar isn't available, bring this package. We've got one more left. Here it is. Come back if you need anything else.
That's a special name for a package. Bag of helpful goods recovered. The bag is much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It holds a massive amount of goods you can only assume will be helpful. So yeah, next on the list, meet Kaligos at the base of the Azure Archives. So once again, another optional quest that I will be ignoring. And here you take the left path, or the path that takes you to the south. And you follow the waypoint. If you do so, you will run into Kaligos. Or will we?
Did you find any tomes detailing the Azure Oathstone?
None. I fear our assumptions are correct. It's a problem with the ley lines.
So Kaligos summoned several mirror images, and they seem to be conversing with each other.
I stand with you.
I'm relieved to have any help. I know Khadgar and the others must be quite busy with the Primalists.
Keep safe.
Khadgar is wise to redirect his efforts toward the Primalists. But now, we've got a lot of work to do here.
Together, we can achieve anything.
The many images of Kaligos. Good to formally meet you. My name is Kaligos, Archmage of the Kirin and aspect of the Blue Dragonflight. I'm having difficulty repairing the Azure Archives to reclaim the Azure Oathstone. I could use an extra pair of physical hands. I'm currently up in the archives themselves. I was able to reactivate the pylon outside, which should allow you to traverse up here. Use the crystal pylon to reach the Azure Archives.
Come back soon. I'll see you above. I believe I'm making progress towards the problems surrounding the Azure Oathstone.
And if I'm not mistaken, on my previous character, he actually said, "Oh, hey, nice to see you again." So apparently, the kind of conversation you get is dependent on whether or not you have met Kaligos before. On that character. So this is the Azure Archives.
Welcome to the Azure Archives. Tread carefully. No one has been here for thousands of years.
I wonder what kind of archives they are storing, because this kind of looks weird.
Well met, friend.
Let's get to work. It's imperative to reclaim the Azure Oathstone.
Fly true.
Driven mad. The Azure Archives was once a place where the Blue Dragons would gather to discuss magic. Now I am the only one of my kind here. This place controls the ley lines beneath the Azure span, but it and its servants have gone out of control. I believe if we can bring order to this place, that I can reclaim the Azure Oathstone. The various constructs and elements are brimming with unstable arcane energy that needs to be redirected. Destroy them and collect what you can. Recover 40 unstable arcane energies. And for that we get a trinket and more reputation, which is, if I'm not mistaken, something we haven't seen yet. Valdrakken Accord Reputation.
All will be well.
And there is a second
I'm
quest
glad you've come.
from a different mirror image, which is, well, weird. Arcane Pruning. We cannot activate the Oathstone in the Azure Archives until we fix the issue with the out of control ley energy here. 2 out of 3 draconic runes that are meant to control it are being choked by unstable arcana. I apologize that this falls to you, given Khadgar's responsibilities and the lack of my brethren appearing. There should be a ley scepter within that bag of helpful goods you have. Use it to help repair the runes nearby. Look through the bag of helpful goods for the Lay Scepter, then use it to repair 2 platforms.
Good luck.
Lay Scepter recovered from... bag. Okay. Search bag of helpful goods. Search through a seemingly bottomless bag of for one specific item. How hard can it be? Okay, so we got the Lay Scepter. Used to channel the arcane of the Lay Scepter to correct imbalances in local ley lines. Say not incorrect, but correct imbalances. Okay, up here we can find the North Arcane Field. So that is our objective, to repair it. And I have no idea what just happened there. Seems like I was kicked or something. So you want to kick that arcane portal because he will spawn several ads. And only have 5 combo points. You seem to recall I had 6. So I'm guessing some talents changed as well during or with the new patch. Okay, so we will use the Lay Scepter here.
Who are you?
Back at you. Who are you? So it may seem pointless to be killing this one, but actually it isn't, because we need Unstable Arcana. Unstable Arcana condensed into a gem. Looks ready to explode at any moment, so don't shake it around too much. Okay, so now we head for the East Arcane Field to repair it as well. Let's squeeze through here. It seems that someone has cleared them out recently. And you can also see mirror images of Caligos at these arcane fields.
Affixes. Seek. Top of archives.
And next we need 34 more Unstable Arcana. So depending on how much have been cleared already, or how many have been cleared already.
I'm out of range.
So this is a little something that I find weird, that they are called unknown, so I'm just wondering if they are supposed to be called that, or if that is a little mistake. They do seem to hit quite hard. Okay.
Too far away. I must get closer.
Apparently the unknowns don't give any arcane, well, magic or unstable arcana, so I'm gonna ignore those. There are still plenty of other monsters to be killed. Jeez, my cold. That and getting thirsty. Just drink a little bit. Ah, and again my poisons wore off. So yeah, I really do think that something has changed here. Why did that go away? I don't remember out of my head which ones I was using, so I'm just gonna click some, I guess. Oh well, it's always time to change them later. As long as we can keep going. Okay, that looks better. More combo points.
I'm out of range.
Alright, 16 to go. Let's see. Oops, I'm too late for that one.
I must get closer.
Or not.
Too far away. I don't have a target.
Lucky us. And thank you.
I need to target something first.
Okay, 5 more. Let's have a look where we can find some. So these are unattackable ones, which means they haven't grown out of control. Oh, and there's more down there. Right. Oh, and there's another unknown.
I'm out of range.
Let's pull it away. There we go. Now back to the mirror images, which are to the north of our current location. And as you saw, that's Caligos, massive blue dragon.
It's good to see you again.
The archives are in a perpetual state of recreation for most of its guardians. We need to fix its flow.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Excellent work. The creations here are already being soothed with just this amount of unstable arcana removed.
Together, we can achieve anything. There's magic in everything.
The Lay Scepter should allow you to properly align and configure the runes nearby.
Good luck.
Excellent work. It seems these runes are able to transport us to the top of the archives. I believe that may be where our last problem resides.
All will be well.
And we have gained a renown level.
How can I help?
Straight to the top. There appears to be something sapping the arcane energies at the apex of the tower. Now that you've stabilized the energies down here, you should be able to ride the arcane magics in the area. Look in that bag of yours for something called an arcane stepping stone, and use it to meet me at the top. Look through the bag of helpful goods for the arcane stepping stone, then use it as an arcane focus point to reach the top of the Azure archives.
Keep safe.
So yeah, once again the same text. And you need to be at a arcane field to be able to look through the bag. Okay, so this is the arcane field. And we find the Lay Scepter once again. And an arcane stepping stone. Travel along the arcane currents to the top of the Azure archives. So they seem to be calling this a tower. You can see more. How do you pronounce their name? worms, something like that. So if you played previous expansions, you might have seen that worms love to feast on arcane magic. So yeah, it does make sense that these have appeared.
This world is full of wonder.
Or at least it's no surprise. It's a long way down from here. Be careful.
Come back soon.
It's a bit worse up here than I had anticipated.
Fair skies and strong winds.
We'll need to hurry if we're going to fix this place and repower the Oathstone. Platform adjustments.
Fly true.
It seems the last of the arcane disruption is up here. I'll continue adjusting delay energies. Use some of the arcana you recovered to dispel the disruptions here. Dispel 3 unstable arcane energies at the top of the Azure archives.
Come back soon.
And arcane annoyances.
Keep safe.
A large number of mana worms are absorbing the wild arcane magic coming out from the archives. The rate that they're doing it... Okay, that's another mistake, I guess. The rate at which they are doing it is causing the ley lines to be thrown off balance, which is preventing the Azure Oathstone from being reclaimed. I will use some of the unstable arcana you collected to form a hook of sorts. Use it to slay several of the worms. The brief delay will be enough for me to adjust the energies below. Slay 6 feasting worms. For that we get another upgrade. Nice.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Okay.
Too far away.
So let's group up again. And they can be skinned. Kinda thought they were made up from or made out of magic or something. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
I require a target.
Okay, so as you may have seen or might have seen, there is an unstable arcane energy barrier.
Have you returned?
Or whatever you want to call it.
You hear that voice too, don't you? It's calling for Malagos, the previous blue dragon aspect.
Oh, there's another one. So since this, I can only hint, which is really spoiling, is it? So from what we saw earlier, the books, you may have an idea of who the voice belongs to. Alright, so that's all 6 worms killed. Now we just have to dispel. They aren't called barriers, but they kind of look like a barrier. So that's the third one.
Oathstone is awaiting.
Anything to say on that?
We'll fix this soon and find out what secrets the archives hold.
Fine work. I can feel the ley lines beneath this place beginning to heal. We're almost done.
All will be well.
The Kirintor will ensure these archives are properly cared for when this is finished. Thank you for your aid.
Good luck.
Reclaiming the Oathstone. Fine work, friend. It seems we've managed to repair the ley lines within the Azure archives. Back when the Blue Dragonflight was united, I would tell my brothers and sisters to never doubt the strength of mortals. Meet me at the Oathstone to the south of here. I will reclaim it, and then be on my way to Teldrassus. Witness Caligos reclaim the Azure Oathstone.
Together, we can achieve, and don't be alarmed. but my mirror images should vanish in a moment.
Okay. Alright, so when you fly down here, you can see the Azure Oathstone.
Well met, friend.
Oathstone reclaimed. It's good to see you in the flesh. You've been a great help so far. I would appreciate your presence while I reclaim the Azure Oathstone. I'm ready to see you reclaim the Azure Oathstone.
Fly.
I was expecting Malagos. Where is he? And who are you?
Caligos. And you cannot possibly be...
Sindragosa? In a way. A simulacrum, created by her in order to preserve her memories and knowledge. It would seem a great deal of time has passed since she left.
Yes. And much has happened.
I sense an aspect.
It's a long story. Both you and Malagos are gone.
I see. And the rest of our flight? Where are they? Tell me.
After Neltharion betrayed us, we were on the verge of extinction. We few who remain are scattered, aimless, and alone.
Yet you came here. That tells me that you still have hope for our king. Child of my flight. Shall we work together to make that hope a reality?
Nothing would give me more pleasure. What must we do?
And there we go. The mysterious identity has been revealed as a simulacrum of Sindragosa.
Greetings, young one.
It is good to be back, or reactivated as it were. There is much to do, and I am glad to give whatever aid I can.
Do not let the magic overwhelm you.
Aiding Azure Span. The Oathstone's energy cannot be reclaimed until the ley lines within the Azure Span are repaired. Some ley lines may only be reachable by those of Caligos' skill, but you may still be of aid. Skills. If they still yet survive, seek out the Tuskar. They lived here in my times and have a deep knowledge of the land. Speak with one of our arcane aides to return to your allies. Return to Noriko the All-Remembering in Camp Antonidas. For that we get a Signet, which is a nice upgrade. Well, I mean, it isn't bad.
I appreciate your...
I'll do what I can to repair any ley lines I find, and send my mirror images to keep an eye on things while I'm gone.
Good luck to the two of you. If the Tuskar still live, they should know the location of the major ley lines. Child, you are staring at me instead of departing. Do you have more to say?
I apologize. I have heard many legends of you. My mind is swimming with questions to ask.
As is mine. 10,000 years is an incalculable amount of time to miss. My dear, I would ask you to apprise me of what I've missed once this mess is settled.
Of course. There is so much to tell. The Cataclysm, the Scourge, the other aspects, the Nexus Wars.
Child of my flight.
Ah, right. I shall return with hopeful news.
And I shall aid you in becoming the proper aspect of the blue Dragonflight.
Child of my flight. Okay, so speak to Flight Master. which is a elemental. So now fly back to Camp Antonidas. So in the meantime, I'm trying to consider something. Alright, here we are again. And up here, you can still see Noriko the All-Remembering.
This land is full of curiosities.
The Tuscar. There are a number of Tuscar merchants and travelers who pass through here.
Be cautious. This land is teeming with magic.
And there we go. Into the archives has been completed. Now, let's reconsider what we did for a moment. So yeah, at the start of this chapter we were sent to the Azure Span. Unfortunately I cannot remember her name. Let me just check it. Ah, it's been spammed away already. Anyway, to check in with a Kirintor who was investigating, apparently, fish. So she had to learn how to fish. Anyway, we were directly redirected to the main camp of the Kirintor in the Azure Span. And we saw how the Primalists and Proto-Drakes were commencing or starting an assault on Camp Antonidas. We helped, reassemble a defensive mechanism, a blaster, and we took care of the first wave of Primalists and Proto-Drakes. When the second wave arrived, Caligo stepped in and destroyed or wiped them out. We were then redirected to the Azure Archives, where we were met by mirror images from Caligos. We were sent into the Azure Archives and helped collect some unstable arcana, and what were we doing with the late scepter? Reconfiguring some arcane fields. We then ascended the tower and learned that the arcana that was being siphoned into the tower, in and out of the tower, was being sapped by, basically mana worms. So yeah, once we cleared some of them out and dispelled some arcana, once again, we went to the Azure Oathstone, where we saw a cutscene of Caligos being unable to empower the Azure Oathstone. He was then, welcomed, I guess, by Syndragosa, and we learned that it was actually a simulacrum that we heard. So we then spoke on what to do, how to proceed, and apparently we have to repair the ley lines before we can re-empower the Azure Oathstone. So Caligos then left for one of the ley lines, while Simulacrum told us that we could also help by repairing some other ley lines, which are, reachable, trying to think of the right word, which we can reach without the help of Caligos. Apparently some of them are locked away behind some kind of magic or something, I don't know, which can only be accessed by Caligos himself, or someone of his skills. So yeah, I guess in the next video we will try to repair one of the ley lines, I'm not sure. But that will be in a chapter called Tuscar Troubles. Oh yeah, that was probably something I should have mentioned. To reconfigure these ley lines, we are to seek out the Tuscar who have an intense knowledge of the lands here. So yeah, I guess that was what we will be doing in the next video. Until then, I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you will check out my next video as well. See ya! Always try to pick up the next video where I left off on the previous one, but that also gets me into a position where I cannot do anything off screen, so maybe I should reconsider that. So all we flew right now is this, well, distance. And no. Okay. We halted in the middle of the waterfall. Have a drink, little buddy. Or a soak. Actually, I might as well just pick up a ground mount